Round for a long, long.
Hey, Seattle, here are some storage tips to love food, stop waste. Onions make potatoes sprout faster. Keep onions away from potatoes. Ripe bananas give off a gas that makes the fruit around them ripen faster. Store bananas away from other fruits. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio App. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Hey, Buford, why are you kicking that old CD player?
Because I can't hear the radio.
Can't hear the radio? Let me help you.
Hey, you two, quit beating up that outdated audio equipment. You can't hear the radio on a CD player.
You can.
No, you can't, you adorable simpletons. But you can hear some great radio on the Rainier Avenue Radio App. It's brand new, it's free, and it's available for Android and iPhone. In fact, you can download the Rainier Avenue Radio App right now from the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store.
I'm going to go give me a smartphone right now.
I'm just going to put a Grand Traverse on my road.
You two have very significant personal issues. Get the Rainier Avenue Radio World app today.
Support for Rainier Avenue Radio comes from Cascade PBS, presenting season 2 of Out and Back with Allison and Ella Daisy. Join Allison as she explores the Pacific Northwest with changemakers who are reclaiming space in the outdoors and creating opportunities for local BIPOC communities to engage with nature and find joy and healing. It's available now on Cascade PBS app and airing on KCTS 9 Thursdays at 8:50 p.m.
Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Real Estate and Money. I am one of your hosts. My name is Lombard, and I'm with Novus Home Mortgage in Colorado and lending in the States. And I'm not sure if we have Violeta on the show, but Violeta is also one of the co-hosts. So thank you for joining us today. We are actually going to be talking about severe weather and your housing. So make sure you're prepared for that. You know, it's really something. This is the time of the year where there's a lot of storms. There's storms that happen in the spring, in the early summer. There's storms that happen in between fall and winter. And a lot of these storms are part of the weather changing. And a lot of times people are unaware of the storms. For example, we had a hailstorm here in Colorado on Sunday. It was actually around 90 degrees and 94 degrees or something. We were out there frolicking in the sun and dancing and singing in the sun for the Filipino Heritage Month or Independence Day. And then all of a sudden at 4 o'clock, it got very dark. It got as dark as it would be at 8 o'clock at night. And all of a sudden, hail started coming out of the sky. Hail started falling. And actually, at my house, the hail is the size of, maybe giant gumdrops, about this big, one of those boulders you put in your mouth. And of course, my entire roof was damaged. Not only was my roof damaged, part of my deck was damaged. I have an oak tree in the front yard. I have some aspens. I have different trees, all of the trees. I have a cherry tree, and I have a plum tree. And of course, everything got massively destroyed. There were leaves all over the ground. I had a maple tree. That's what it is, a maple tree in my front yard. Of course, my whole yard was covered with maple leaves. My plums actually were all thrashed. And so there's plums all over the front of my driveway. And in the back, I have baby crab apples that were smashed and thrown all over the place. But what is very concerning is it wasn't just my house, it was my entire neighborhood. And a lot of times people don't really know the they really don't know what is going to go on with the weather. They're not really prepared for weather. So we're going to talk to you today about how to prepare your house for weather, how to prepare your house for insurance claims, how to prepare yourself and your animals should a hurricane or some type of inclement weather should hit your area. So anyways, yeah, so is she on? Yeah, Daniel?
Yeah.
There you go. Great. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Hi.
So
Yes, I was listening to all the things that you were talking about in your neighborhood.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. It was pretty scary, but
well, you have solar panels up there. So
yeah.
Do they get damaged? Do they get damaged? Or are they pretty strong?
They're not damaged at all. You can hear everything bash, 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 bash. If you look at my Facebook page, Tina Lombard, my Facebook page, I actually filmed some of the storm live. But V, let me tell you, they were. Do you have anything here as big as these balls? They were huge. They were like this big. The hail that came out, and of course, my dog had a little doggy, and the dog was just, he was like this. He was like this.
Yeah.
And I was telling everybody it was like 94 degrees outside, and we were outside. We were like hot, and we were celebrating the Filipino Independence Day, last weekend here in Colorado Springs, and it was 94 degrees. It was hot. It was muggy, and we said, "Hey, there you go. Thank you. There's my house right there." Dan can see it. Yeah, you see the hailstorm? You see the hail just bouncing in place, and I'm just freaking out. I can hear the sound, but you could hear it all over my roof. And my dog, look at that.
Oh, ouch. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I filmed because I didn't think anybody was going to believe me, but it was just loud. It was scared. My dog was just shivering, like by 5 minutes before it came and hit, he knew, and of course I was going to go out and go grocery shopping or something. And I'm glad I didn't go out because not only did the hail destroy the roof and deck, it actually destroyed a lot of the cars in the area. So my neighbors, who I went to Colorado,
had a few of these hailstorms.
Yeah.
So what do people do?
Well,
stay inside, of course.
Well, when I first came here, I worked down in South Denver. Now, some areas of Colorado get hit a lot, and some areas do not. If you're at the foothills of Colorado, that's where the mountain ranges start, coming into Denver. Those areas get hit a lot because the weather's coming off of the mountains. So where I'm at, it's very, very rare to have any hail. When I first started working here, I worked in South Denver, and there was a giant hailstorm. I had my Camaro, and it was beautiful. It was slick. And all of a sudden, this hailstorm came, and I freaked out because it will destroy your car. It looks like pimples. It looks like an orange peel. Your car just
didn't it mess up Mariah, your daughter's car?
Yes, it messed up Mariah's car one time because she got caught up north. So a lot of times there's tricks here in Colorado. If you know it's going to hail, and you're not anywhere where you can get underneath an awning or something, you always have to have a comforter in the back of your car. Just a comforter that you have in the back of your car. You take it out, you throw it over your car, so when the hail hits, it doesn't hit your car. So that's the thing here that a lot of people do. They say put a comforter in the back of your car because if it hails anytime, any place, you can run out, take the comforter, throw it over your car.
It'll just bounce off the car?
Yes. Now, I have a friend who just bought a 2024 Land Rover, and her car is a beast, but her paint does not is resistant to hail. So she doesn't have problems. So that's new technology. But like my neighbors, the Filipinos, my neighbors, Rod and Lisa, we went to Colorado Springs with each other. They came home, they've got cars and a boat outside of their house. And so all automobiles got damaged. Now, these hailstones, not something that you run out, you start trying to take pictures of. These hailstones come out of the sky so hard, they actually will bruise you and hurt you. You'll get bruises on yourself if you go out there and try to film and stuff. So people, they take to hail, you run undercover. You don't go out there dancing in the rain and filming selfies. No, it is not like that. It's very dangerous. Of course, the landscaping there's nothing you can do. A lot of people have got beautiful, like I have some roses back there. I have I have flowers coming out. They're starting to blossom because it's spring, and they all just got raked. They got raked through. So a lot of my flowers are destroyed. And so, so first of all, we could tell it looks like a tornado or a hurricane or something, but it was 3:30 in the afternoon. And it looked like it was 8 o'clock at night. It was extremely dark, and black thing hovering over you like this in the sky. I'm like, wow, look at that. And so I get home, and all of a sudden, my the animals start going crazy. My dog starts whimpering and hiding everywhere, shaking. And all of a sudden, ping, 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 ping. The lightning. And it's really, really catastrophic. But, you get the lightning, and all of a sudden the hail comes down, and there's nothing you can do. And so we sat there for about an hour. And what Daniel just, that's when it started. But it goes like a whole hour, things just dinging off. And, I looked outside after 10 minutes, and you can see the whole street is just white from hail. Just white from hail. And it's just rushing down the street. And this hail is not like these little pea things. No, they're like this big. And they're clear. It's just beautiful. It's like little crystals falling out of the sky.
Clear.
Right. And so it's really kind of scary. So of course, there was thunder and lightning and that sort of thing. But you can't go out, you can't drive because your car is going to get dinged. So thank God my car was in the garage. But the next morning was something else. So the next morning, I woke up and I tried to take my trash out. My trash comes on Sunday morning. So I went outside, and there's neighbors up and down the street, and there's roofers going from house to house to house to house to house. Estimating your house. She wants to jump on your roof. And our neighbors, actually, they have a nephew that does roofing. And so he ran over to my house. He's like, Auntie Tina, my uncle told me over there.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so he jumped up on my roof and took a lot of pictures. But he showed all the pings on my roof where the hail came down and ripped through the roof.
Yeah.
Just astonishing. And my solar panels, I've got about 12 panels up there, and they're pretty large, like 3 feet by 3 feet or something. They're pretty large, but they did not get damaged at all. But
amazing.
So the asphalt, though, is very, very comparable. So the asphalt is not as hard as the solar panels. So that really got hard. And when he showed me the pictures, it was very impressive. I just said, wow, if you find 2 or 3 dings, I think in a 10-foot by 10-foot area, that's bad. But in my 5-foot area, I had like 10 to 30 dings. And it was that bad. So we did, he jumped up on the roof, took a bunch of pictures, and showed all the damage. And he's like, you need to call up your insurance agent, and we need to file a claim. So I did that, and I was surprised. I thought my deductible was something like $1,500 or $1,000. My deductible was over $3,000. $1,000. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, what in the? I thought I had a $1,000 deductible. I'm calling somebody up. And so the adjuster's supposed to call me tomorrow or sometime, the next couple of days. But I just a couple of things I want to tell clients, tell people right now, our viewers, is that you want to be prepared for something like this. Should it happen? If it never happens, great. But if it does happen, you don't want to be like me and be surprised about a deductible. So first of all, I would say call your insurance people, call your insurance company, and make sure that you've got the full coverage. If they ask for something that happens to your house because of weather, make sure your deductible is something that you can handle. And of course, if you have a lower deductible on your insurance, it's going to make your payments go up because your monthly payments for your insurance is going to go higher. But, hey, an extra $60 a month or extra $30 a month, let's say over 12 months, that's $300, whatever, a year. I mean, what happens if something happens and you do have a $3,000 deductible? You wish you would have had a lower deductible. Now,
you got to be ready.
You've got to be ready. Now, I also lived right there in Federal Way, right by the Aquatic Center. And I don't know if you remember, there was a giant windstorm, and 3 trunks of trees came through my ceiling. I had a tree trunk that came through my ceiling, not sideways, not on top of it. It came down, look at this butter knife. It came down like this, and went right through my ceiling. 3 of them.
Jeez.
And I remember I came down and I saw stuff all over my floor, wood and sawdust, and I thought it was my son and my husband. I started yelling at them. I'm like, what are you doing? And I was so mad. I was like, God, and I looked up and I saw 3 trees that went through my roof. So, I called up my insurance company right away, and I was one of the first people to have a roofer come out and do an estimate. And he just did a little patch, which is awesome. But you want to make sure right now, if you do have insurance, that it covers such things as, let's say, a hurricane, a storm, hail damage. What does it cover? Does it cover your car? So with Mariah, my house insurance actually covered, or my auto insurance actually covered her car when it came to hail. So, I mean, something like that's like $200 or $300 if you've got a really nice car, but I had hail damage, and it was taken care of. I think my deductible, the insurance company took care of my deductible. So it was great.
Yeah, so, here you need to have flood insurance in some areas. If you're by a river, for example, that crests over the bank and you get flooding in your home. And then earthquake insurance. You have a brick facade, right? The chances are those will crumble. So there'll be damage to the exterior of your home. So we've had both of those instances. One with our ocean property, and then one in Sammamish where we lived. We had brick outside, and so we had flood insurance for the ocean, and the other insurance.
You had a house. Didn't you have a house on Cannon Beach? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the house. And who knows if that ocean was ever going to come up and into inland? But we were 2 houses in from the dunes, and you never know. So
you never know.
Yeah, Mother Nature, she does whatever she wants to do.
Yes,
if she wants to play, she'll throw those the balls of snow into your home just to see if you're paying attention.
Yeah, so, that's exactly it, V. Just to get her, just see if you're paying attention. Yeah, it's something, because it wasn't just it wasn't like our whole neighborhood. It was just strips of streets, just
like one block,
like 2 blocks,
straight down one block, and then everybody else was okay next to you.
That's
amazing.
It was something because I called my daughter up. I'm like, I don't know where your car is, but you better get her to cover. And I called her up. She wasn't home. She was out in, which is about maybe 20 minutes away. She's like, Mom, it's sunny up here. There's something going on over here. And and so there's other people in my neighborhood. They're like, we didn't get any of that. So I mean, you said Mother Nature she doesn't just do zip codes. I mean, she'll do.
She does not discriminate. She'll go wherever she wants to go.
No. So insurance is a good thing. Now, what I've got here, I've got some links right here. We're going to talk about preparedness for a hurricane, what you should do. I mean, a lot of people don't know what to do or to be prepared. Let's say they just moved into let me see. Okay, here, let me give you this right here.
While you're looking for that, I'm thinking tornadoes too have a pattern. They line of sight, they'll journey wherever they want to, but chances are, that's why you see devastation in like blocks or sections of cities, not a whole city like that.
Yeah. It's just a little bit, whatever they choose. Let's go here.
Hurricanes are always Florida, right? Florida and East Coast, a lot of hurricanes out there. And I always worry. My son is out in North Carolina, but by the time it goes inland that far, it becomes just a tropical storm or heavy rains.
And if you remember correctly, about maybe 13 years ago in Federal Way, there was a tornado.
Really?
Yeah, there was. It was a tornado in Federal Way.
Wow.
And, and we're like, what? This isn't Kansas or Texas, but so you never know. But yeah, so
you have something you're showing?
Yeah. So Danny, can you pull that up really quick? These are kind of things that you want to, look at. Now, you may not be in a hurricane plain or area, but these are good tips for every type of situation. So first of all, review your insurance policy. That's what we talked about. Make sure it covers the earthquake. Make sure it covers the flood. Or if you have hail in your area, or with climate change, we don't know what weather is going to change. So whatever happened in that area 20 years ago is not indicative of what's going to happen now. So make sure that you have your insurance policy. Now, do you have flood insurance? It's just like Violeta was talking about. Now, there is flood insurance that the government actually requires on a house if it is designated in a flood area, like on the ocean or something. But, let's say you're in an area, for whatever reason, you're by a river or you're by a dam or something, and if flooding could occur out of nowhere, you want to make sure you review your flood insurance. Okay? Have a weatherproofing plan. Okay? So make sure, that like it says here, installing storm shutters on your windows, and doors would have doors that actually can withstand storm damage. Okay, so it says here another option is to install wind and impact resistant windows and doors. So make sure if you're in an area that's windy that you have the proper doors and the proper window shutters. And secure important documents. So if you do have birth certificates, if you do have deeds of trust, if you have car titles, that sort of thing, make sure that maybe they're in a safety deposit box in the bank. Now, of course, that's no guarantee, but it's important that you do have them in waterproof containers. Or you can go down to Costco or Walmart and get yourself a safe. Still safe.
We got 2.
2, yeah, exactly. And these safes are a lot better than they're a lot cheaper than going down to the government and trying to get a document that was lost. Let me see here. Arrange for backup power. So a lot of times, if you're in an area and I think there were people that one time was out of power for 2 weeks straight. So make sure you do have backup power. You got a generator or something like that should your power go out. Make an emergency list, emergency kit. So make sure you've got a kit that has got food, it's got water supplies, bedding, it's got heat, you've got a radio. So it's, like for us, if the power went out, what was I going to do? I hoping that I had my cell phone on at maximum power. But what are you going to do if something happens or if somebody gets injured? If I ran out there and got hit with a hail and I knocked myself down the ground, what would I have? So make sure you have an emergency kit. Okay, prepare for your pets. So make sure that you've got food supply, you've got water for your pets. Nothing happen. A lot of times the pets are sometimes the only people who escape, or a lot of times they get so scared they run out through the neighborhood, even like on the 4th of July, and you never find them again. So make sure you prepare.
If pet stores, and Daniel, maybe you can even chime in. Pet stores, do they have an emergency kit for your pets? Dogs, cats. Have you seen anything like that, Tina? I don't think I have.
That's a great idea. No, my dog actually will eat what I eat, something like that. But no, but we have food for our dog. We've got canned food just for safety. We've got water supplies. But also blankets. Like my dog last night, there was thunder and lightning. It went off for like maybe 2 hours, but he just sat on me and just shivered. So a lot of times your dogs, don't leave them alone if there's a storm. You've got a network meeting, you got a ball or something you got to go to, make sure your animals at home, they are scared like crazy. Yeah. I just thank God that I was home on Sunday and I was home last night because my dog was just so fearful, so make sure that you don't ignore your pets when there is a storm. Even though they're safe in the house, make sure their anxiety is very, very scary. Trim your trees. So this is what the storm did to me last night. The storm trimmed my trees, but there are branches that are wayward and they can scratch your windows. They can, because they get too big, they can impair power lines. They can fall on you, what have you, but do trim the trees around your area. Make sure that they're safe. Plan to secure your boat. So there are a lot of people who live on the shore and they do have boats. So make sure that the boats are tied up. But Violeta, I went to Louisiana. I have family in New Orleans and in Destricam. Oh, yeah. And all of them have got boats, those skiffs on the side of their house. I'm like, oh, do you go fishing in that thing? I'm like, no, Tina. When the flood comes, when the hurricane comes or whatever, we get flooding, we jump on our boats. So if you are in an area that is prone to flooding, make sure you've got a boat or a skiff or something that you can get on. Should there be a flood? Okay, is that it? Okay. Protect your doors and windows. Secure loose objects. Like your chairs and stuff. Make sure you have them tied down if wind starts coming up. Fill the tubs with freezer bags of water. Fill the tubs with water and also freezer bags of waters. Get some sandbags if you want to keep the flooding out. Turn off utilities. So make sure that the gas is off, electricity is off, that sort of thing. If there should be a big storm, make sure you have a battery operated radio. Okay, not the one that has to plug in the wall, because if there's no power in the wall, you've got no problem. You've got problems. Stay informed to make sure that you turn the radio on. You find out escape places, if there's any help on the way, that sort of thing. So make sure you have access to communication and plan your evacuation. Plan your evacuation route. So if something should happen, where should everybody meet? So when I worked at the bank, we always had an emergency plan. If something should happen to the branch, we got robbed, or there was a storm, or something like that. National emergency, we always knew to meet down the street in front of this block by this tree. And so everybody would be accountable or be accounted for. So make sure if there is something that happens, make sure you've got phone numbers in your phone that you call so that everybody knows that you're okay. Make sure there is a plan that, hey, we're going to meet here at this time. We're going to do this. We're going to all call Auntie Lynn. We're all going to, end up at this block. But make sure there is an evacuation route, and make sure there is a plan of where you would meet if there is an evacuation, if something should happen.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's it with that.
Was that your list? I was going to add to that generators.
Oh, yeah.
If you're prone to having power outages at your home, in your area, get a generator.
Yeah.
It's under $1,000. Yeah. But you can plug that in, get it all ready to go. So you'll always be able to power up your appliances and stay warm. And if you don't have a working furnace, maybe you have a gas fireplace. Turn that on. Put blankets up in openings around that room and stay there while you're getting your if your furnace blows out or something. And I remember one time that happened here when we had a big storm. We stayed at a hotel. Because that's the other thing. The other option: go to a hotel with your dogs. and yeah, chances are they have generators that work, and you can stay warm in there.
Yeah, well, it's something too, and a lot of people don't realize you need to have all your neighbors' phone numbers on your phone.
True.
You know, a lot of times my neighbors always had like a gun safe, or they had a generator, or they had food. You know, I have the names and numbers of all my neighbors, whether I like them or not. I love all my neighbors, thank God. But if for an emergency, I call my neighbors at 5:00 in the morning. I need something. This tree fell here. I need food. My heater. I call my neighbors up in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve, and my heater went out. And I said, "Send your husband over here." And he, heater. But it's so important to have the phone numbers on your phone to each neighbor, every husband and wife. You know, if anything should happen, they're your first resource if 911 cannot get to you.
You're right. Yeah. Not for the emergency gallon of ice cream because you're up in the middle of the night and you need a fix.
Well,
not
to
for
keep
those.
off is a good reason to call your neighbor, which I have done. Bourbon, I have done.
Yeah.
But
they also have those little power cells and different sizes and shapes for your cell phone. Have a couple of those always charging or always ready. So in case you run out of juice on your phone, you can't power up off the wall outlet, you've got a little power source.
Right. And also
one in your car, one at home, couple at home. Yeah.
Right. And then, put a chip in your animals. Put a chip in your dog.
Yes.
So if you ever should lose your dog in a storm or 4th of July, you can get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's just so many, thank you for joining us today. I mean, there's just so many different things, and I mean, if you are, in a storm, situation and you have your neighbors, call them up and see if they're okay, especially if there's somebody elderly, or if you've got a single mom, there are teenage kids running around, make sure you call your neighbors and check on them.
Insurance came about, tell me if this is true, if I remember correctly, because of fires.
Yes.
Like forest fires and all that. Way back in the day, the San Francisco big fire there. And maybe insurance companies popped up because of situations like that. And so fire insurance, like in California, where they have a lot of fires raging through areas, getting close to homes, actually burning down homes. So those areas, chances are insurance companies will tell you to take out a policy for fire as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Fires.
They start with fires. And what's so good about what you said is a lot of times people go to areas like Florida or California. California, you can't even get insurance. They have an insurance fund that goes to the state. But some areas that you want to buy, you really have to look at the insurance policies for that area because insurance policies are high because there are a lot of claims. So look at it. Hey, is there a problem? What's the insurance if I were to buy in this zip code? What's the insurance?
Yeah, right.
The insurance is $8,000 a year. Maybe I don't want to buy. Maybe I don't want to live here. But but look at insurance because Violeta is right. I mean, some areas are prone to fire. They're prone to floods. They're prone to hail, snow, and some places in Florida you just cannot get insurance. They won't even insure you
because they know it's a problem.
They have too many
in your home. Have a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, one by your barbecue, maybe at least 2 in your home. Make sure all your smoke detectors are working. Every so often you have to change the batteries on those things or have it hardwired, as well as your CO, carbon monoxide, detectors working. All those things can help you and prevent some serious tragedy from happening.
Exactly.
So be ready, be prepared. Is that it? Is that time?
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, no, Daniel, I don't see a cue. But, Anyway.
Yeah. Well, for more questions, give us a call. If you're looking at an area, you're not quite sure whether to buy there or not, or what the insurance is, or, crime or anything like that. Give Violeta a call. She can help you look at a property, or give me a call. I can help you with some type of financing on the payments.
Exactly. And on my website, you can actually see a move meter where you can put in your current zip code look at a zip code that you're moving to and say, you know, is there a lot of crime over here? What are the schools? What are the insurance issues for hazards happening in that area? You can actually see that.
Wow,
You know,
that's good.
So it's really cool. So call me and I'll get you on my website or I'll post it somehow. All right.
Great.
So I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Yes, and I'm Tina Lombard with Novus Home Mortgage.
Thank you all for joining us today. I hope this was informative stuff for you to keep in mind.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Guys coming up, be ready. Okay. Bye.
Bye.